Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It's Saturday the something of June, is it 27th? I'm not sure. Anyway, Manchester United play tonight in the FA Cup quarter final. It's actually at 1 o'clock in the morning, Sunday over here, but obviously it'll be Saturday in the UK. Liverpool have won the league. I'm going to say this once and once only. Congratulations. That's it. Ladder Bros, Devils on the field. This is an exclusive for me and my channel, made by Andre over there in the States, and I think he's going to try and make it as one of his soap lines if he can get enough sort of interest in it. But we'll see where that goes. Anyway, the brush I'm using today is going to be my Leo Frio Manchester United brush with the 26mm Magard 2-band best badger, I think, I can't remember. But this isn't about these items. These get used a lot in my channel because they generally get used on the days that Manchester United play. I've even got my new cast on, my splint in all red to go with my United stuff. It's not Liverpool red, alright, just so you're aware. Now, this shave is really going to be a first impression shave, really. I'm not going to use this as a review. I've used several razors like this, and this is just mainly to have a look at this one in particular and talk about it. And it comes in this box. You've seen it before, everyone's used it. I'm very, very late to the party. This was sent to me from Craig Stanway on loan. Craig Stanway makes face fat shaving soap, and he sent me this along with the Chic Krona and the Razor Rock Hawk V2, I think it is, which has now been placed in its box and won't be used again. It just doesn't work well with that blade. It's the only blade I have. It did okay on the head and did a pretty average face shave. Now, as you can see, it's signed on the front there, King C Gillette. This is like a faux leather. It's not real leather. It's got a leathery type smell to it, but I think that's just the plastic. I don't think this is real leather. I think if it was, it would be stamped somewhere, and I can't see it stamped anywhere. So I'm pretty sure it's a faux leather. Now, when you pop it open, you get this. Now, you're not going to see it too. Oh, you might be able to see it sort of there. So it's all plastic coated in that sort of furry stuff, and it's like sort of soft touch fur. And it's got the Gillette logo on the back and a box of Gillette Platinum blades. This section here held the handle, and this section here held the head, the footwell. It's a 3-piece razor. So the razor, once constructed, looks like that. Come on, focus. So there we go. Now, it's a tale of two stories really, this razor, looking at it. It's very head heavy. Now, I'm not sure whether this is a Zamac or whatever this head is made with, but it's bloody heavy. I'm not sure, possibly brass, coated brass. It is, as far as I'm aware, made in Germany, and going from memory and from what I've been told recently from someone else, I think the handle's made in the US, which surprises me. The head. Now, I'm not kidding when I say this. The quality and finish on this head exceeds Mueller and Edwin Jagger. The actual finish, the chrome plating on it is immaculate all the way around it. It looks great, it feels great. In fact, if I'm honest with you, it almost looks like polished stainless steel. And the weight of it, I'll just unscrew it. I've got a little bit more mobility with this splint on now. The weight of it even feels like stainless steel. Now, I know it isn't. I know it's some form of chrome plated stuff. There's a few marks on there from the blades. I did have a blade in this and took it out. But the actual overall finish all round on this razor and its head, come on, it is flawless. So Gillette chose, whoever they chose to make this, I'm assuming it probably was Mueller, I'm not sure, over in Germany, picked a very, very good company to make it. It was superbly made. This, on the other hand, is extremely average. It's just finished like shit. I don't know who made it. I don't know whether it is American or not. To say this is American, I would be very surprised because it's just not finished very well. You probably won't see. I'll see if I can just polish it up on here. I don't think my camera will pick it up. Whether you'll see the striations on the polished part or where it's been plated. All the way around this section here, you can see where the tooling marks are or whatever's used on it. This part here, in fact, there you go. You can see it on there. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Come on, focus, please. There we go. You see how poor that finish is on this little part here. Now that's not marks or dust stuff stuck to that. That's the finish on it. And it's very average. And to be honest with you, it doesn't match the head, because the head almost feels heavier than this handle. It's a very, very light handle. It's slightly heavy here where this part is, but the rest of it's super light. It feels like it's been, well, it is a hollow handle. This has been squished in here. Had this been a solid chunk of brass or a solid chunk of whatever, excuse me, I will wash all this before I send it back, Craig. I'm a little bit clogged up at the moment. It would have made such a difference, and had it been finished the exact same way as that head, it would have looked absolutely immaculate, and I'd have been very impressed with it. This really lets this razor down, this handle, in my opinion, just cosmetically alone. I think it does remind me a lot. I've had a couple of old Gillettes, and it does remind me of those handles, but the heads with those Gillettes were very light, like a quarter the weight of this one. This is a very heavy head, and it makes it a very head-heavy razor. Whether it affects the shave or not, who knows, but it will get stuck in. So I'm going to chuck on. I was going to put the Wizamite on there, but I decided to go with one of these. One of my good old trusty faithfuls. Come on, focus, you piece of shit camera. Gillette Nasset, come on. It just doesn't want to focus. Ah, yeah, you know me. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, loading blades with a massive splint on your whole arm or a cast or whatever, it's pretty difficult. I should really do it on the table, but I managed to do it this time. Right, so the blade's loaded. Now I've loaded the blade in this a few times, had a look at it, and it lines the blade up very, very well. So there it is, fully constructed. It is so head heavy, like I couldn't even get the balance point. The balance point is like about here, roughly here, I would say. So head heavy. The blade, hopefully you can see that in there if it focuses. There we go. The blade is lovely and straight, and on both sides it's very, very even. So I'm just going to stick that razor into the warm water just to heat it up. Move the box to the side. Get the soap. Lather Bros, devils on the field. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but Liverpool, you either hate them or you fucking hate them. That's about the gist of it, really, isn't it? I did actually comment on Steve Walker's. He put a post on Facebook, and I commented on there, unsubbed. Well, I think it was a laughing face. I hope he took that as a joke. I know those Liverpool supporters don't really take jokes very well. They have been the joke, and still are at the moment, as far as I'm concerned. Nah, at the end of the day, it's no easy thing to win a Premier League. It really isn't. To win a Champions League, a Premier League, all within 12 months, is no easy feat for any club, really. Right, the brush, Leo Frio Custom, and it's got the Manchester United coin on the bottom. It's a beautiful brush. It's got a 26mm, I think it's 26mm, it might be 24mm, Magard 2-band badger. I can't remember if it's best badger or what, but it's quite soft. You can see the tips on it do ever so slightly stick together. It's not a gel tip, but it does a little bit. Just put that back in the water again, flick out quite a lot of the water, and then straight into this dry soap. So I'm looking forward to this shave, really. I think, in all honesty, as much as I'm not a massive fan of this razor, and the new Gillette they've just released at Walgreens in the States, I'm not a fan of that either. They serve a great purpose, and that is that Gillette are making them. And when Gillette makes something, people take notice. You know, if Gillette's making these razors again and they're selling well, which by all accounts I think they are selling quite well. I know this Heritage Razor sold out. I don't know whether they made them again. And then the one at Walgreens I think sells really well. So by all accounts it's doing quite well. It'll be interesting to see whether the double-edged razor blade sales have went up, because obviously that's a market where companies don't make a lot of money, you know. Really the way to make money in this business of double-edged razors and traditional shaving is to release new razors often, because that's where the money's at. And if you get enough of a hardcore following, people will buy your razors no matter what. Look at Wolfman, look at Carve, look at Timeless, Charcoal Goods. You know, that they don't release a ludicrous amount of razors like over and over again, but they release enough to keep people interested. They innovate just enough to make the next razors better than the last razors generally. And really, Gillette, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Gillette should be putting better than that out, better than this razor I'm about to use, far superior than that out now. They have the power, they have the technology, they have probably the design team and everything to do it. I think they just need to realise that it's worth it, and hopefully they do realise that. Hopefully the people that are buying it are getting good shaves from them and enjoying it, and to the point that they would buy the next one and the next one. Because no matter how you look at it, Gillette are the monopoly on shaving. They always most likely will be. I don't think Gillette is going anywhere anytime soon. Right, this brush has got far too much soap in it. You can see how much soap's in there. So let's just see how we go. It worked out well really, because I don't know how this razor is going to shave. Like I say, I've used Edwin Jagger DE89s, Merkur 34Cs, Parker razors that are similar, the Mueller R89, the R41. I've used all these razors that are synonymous with wet shaving, traditional wet shaving. And albeit this razor never excited me when it came out. The fact that Gillette made it did, but I would like to see a razor made by Gillette, not for Gillette. You know, I know there's companies out there, I think it's Global Shave. Albeit I'm not a fan of Global Shave's razors and stuff like that. They just look like cheap Chinese stuff. But I think they are looking at bringing out a Fat Boy or a Slim or something like that, and like revamping it. And I think that's pretty cool. So that would be really interesting. The funny thing is, I was never a major fan of the Fat Boy or the Slim. I never got great shaves from it because the ones I had never lined up very well. And that was mainly just bad luck. Every time I got one, there was a bit of a blade alignment issue with it. So I wasn't very lucky with them, but I did have a beautiful little Gillette Rocket, which shaved really, really nicely. And to be honest with you, I miss it because it was a nice razor. I had it rhodium plated at Razor Emporium, and it was a stunning razor with a rhodium plating on it. It really was. It was all adjusted perfectly. The blades went in straight as an arrow. It was just perfect. So I was pretty gutted when I got rid of it, but changes had to be made. It wasn't used very often, in all honesty. At the time, I think the Rockwell 6C was my sort of almost go-to razor, that along with the Mergress from Bull Goose Shaving. Yeah, I just think with this Gillette razor, this Heritage razor, I think it looks fantastic in the box. I think it's a great gift idea. I know Marin the Barbarian is saving one for his son as a gift, his first ever DE razor, because it's a lovely little heirloom. It's certainly something you would be sort of proud of to get from your dad for your first razor, and I do agree with that. Maybe something like that for myself and my boys, I don't know. To be honest with you, I think I'll probably sort out some carve razors for my boys as the first one. Mainly because that's what I'll try and teach them with. So they'll have a feel for it. And they probably won't likely have the same love for shaving that I've got. I would like to think I can instill a little bit of that passion into them, because I think it's certainly something that's well thought of these days, a well-groomed man and looking after yourself. And what better way than traditional wet shaving and nice fragrances, and and simple things like trimming your eyebrows and trimming your nose hairs to the best of your ability. So you don't look like some crazy bulgin. Right, one more dip. My youngest, we did an accumulator on the football as well, on the soccer. And he picked all the teams, he picked 13 teams. We looked at 15 games, and he picked 13 winners out of those 15 games. They didn't really know the other 2 games. And one let us down. I put $1 on it, they won about, I think it was $1,116 for $1. One team let us down. So I got my dollar back, but that was it. Right, so here we go. The ladder is built. Ladder Bros, can't go wrong with this stuff. The razor is the Gillette Heritage short handled razor. It's probably about a 3.25 inch handle or something. I haven't measured it. Very, very head heavy with a brand new Gillette Nasset blade. I haven't used a Nasset for a while. So here we go, Gillette razor with a Gillette blade, and it's very head heavy. But I haven't used this style head for a while now. That's a bit tuggy, that, what the fuck? Excuse me. Wow, what the? I have got a dodgy blade. Just give me a second. I would normally turn the camera off for this, but stuff it, just keep it running. I'm going to get that blade and chuck it straight in the bin. And then I'm going to grab this shit Krona and scoop out the blade from it. So this one is a second use Wizamet Super Iridium. I did want to stick with a Gillette blade, but this is just easier for me to get out of the razor and get it straight in here. It takes me a while to open packets and things with this bloody wrist. So anyway, I am in this full sling still, this full thing here for another 4 weeks. And then from there on I can start my rehab, so hopefully I'll get a bit more movement after that. But yeah, still can't really straight razor shave or anything at the moment. Right, so here we go. Is there a blade in here? There is, but let me see. There you go. All that time I've been using Gillette Nassets, I've never had a dodgy blade. Put it in the Gillette Heritage, boom, dodgy blade. That's silky smooth. The razor now feels very, very nice. To be honest with you, it's actually a really nice shave. Look, I mean, let's be honest about it. Edwin Jagger and Mueller and Parker have followed suit, and there's a few other companies out there that make a similar head to this. The reason it's being made over and over again and it's selling so well is because it shaves well. You know, there's a no fuss, easy to use, easy to find the angle shaving head. Does it give me a smoother shave than the Carve, or I would say more efficient? I wouldn't say it does, but for the price it probably justifies it in that sense. You know, you can't buy a premium razor for anywhere near the price of this thing. I think it's about 40 American dollars, I think, something like that, 30 American dollars. So in that regard, it's actually a really nice razor. We'll see how it goes across the grain and a little bit of against the grain, see how it feels. So far it's very smooth. And like I say, the head on it is immaculate, it is impeccable. And in all honesty, if this was made by Mueller, they've made it better than they make their own. It's giving a really nice shave. I think I'm going to be happy with this in the end. Let's be honest about it, I'm not happy with the handle. I think the handle's shit. This handle's about the right length for me, but it's so light, it just doesn't match the head. It's almost like a total mismatch. It's like a Frankenstein razor that went wrong, in my opinion. It's just not very nice to use. What makes it stand out even more is the fact that I don't have the full range of ability with my left and right hand. Sometimes I use my left hand a little bit now when I'm shading to stretch skin and do things. The fact that I'm just using my right hand really highlights how head-heavy this razor is. And I'm not a fan of head-heavy razors. I like a good balance. I like the balance point of a razor to be in the centre of the handle almost. That being said, it's not affecting the shade. The shade is really nice. It's a simple razor. It's a simple head design. It's a very, very common and well used head design. But like I say, it's a common, well used head design for a reason. If the handle matched that head design and the quality of the head, very, very good razor. Yeah, I think I think they missed the boat with this razor. I think they could have they were so close to having a very, very good competing razor in the market. I don't think this is quite there. I think the head is, I don't think the handle takes it there. These Wisdom blades are fantastic. They're so good. Definitely my favourite blade. One weeper down here. Got that on the way down, I think, obviously. But that again is the head heavy side of it. It's very difficult to control a head heavy razor in terms of actually holding it off your skin, because the handle feels so light that you think you're lifting enough weight off and you're really not. Right. I think overall though, really impressed with it. Against the grain, it was beautiful, really smooth. In fact, it's competing with the best razors on that pass there against the grain. That was lovely. It was almost didn't really feel anything. Granted, I am working with a software product that I'm very, very accustomed to. Lather Bros are one of my favourites. Very easy to lather, plenty of slickness, plenty of protection, just great silks. That's a really nice shave, you know. Of course, I've used a lot of very expensive razors, very well made razors, beautifully handcrafted and artisanal razors, you know. I've used a lot. But I have used the cheapies, I have used the basics, and I have to say, that's one of the best I've shaved with that head. I hate the handle, I keep talking about it. I'm not a fan of that handle. I'm just going to add a little bit of cold water on my neck, hopefully that heals up that little weaker. Wow. Now, granted, I've had a couple of nights good sleep. I'm off all the painkillers. I'm still taking paracetamol and ibuprofen. It's still not comfortable to sleep. I have to wear this all the time. I get a little bit of respite when I have a shower, and I've got to be very careful. But yeah, so let me just rinse this brush out. What time are we on? You know me, 30 minutes is a quick shave these days. I'm very impressed with this, you know, I really am. I'll be honest with you, excuse me, I've got a heartburn and indigestion. Had some wasabi mayo, and albeit it tasted nice, now it won't be real wasabi, you guys know that I'm into wasabi. We do buy real wasabi every now and then from our local sort of fruit and veg place. They do sell it, it's very expensive, but it is nice. Fresh wasabi. Very different to the shit you get in a packet, that's for sure. And it's only really hot, I think it's at 15 minutes or something it lasts for. We don't know because we eat it straight away. But once you grate it, you've got to eat it very quickly within a period, otherwise it loses all its power, its potency. Well, the brush cleaned out beautifully, very quick. Right, let's sit that to the side. Okay, the result was Devils on the field. Manchester United play tonight, FA Cup quarter-final. Liverpool's not in the FA Cup. Do they give a rat's arse? To be honest with you, if I just won the Premier League, I couldn't give a fuck about any other league, trophy or anything in the world. Massive trophy to win, the biggest. The brush, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful from Leo Frio. This came with a game-changing knot. It was switched out by JR Reyes over at Reyes Restores. He did a fantastic job, and if you're looking to get knots replaced and things here in the States, he's your man. He's absolutely brilliant at it. He won't damage your brush. He'll look after it and you'll get it back in as good, if not better condition than when you sent it in some cases. Right, I am just going to finish off now with a bit of warm water. My AP Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum is on its last legs. I don't know whether I'm going to get anything out of it yet. I'm going to try. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got enough there. I've got loads actually. I'm going to say something right now before I talk about this razor. I'm almost annoyed. This razor's given me one of the best shaves I've had in a long time. Many months. And I've had some great shaves of late, I can assure you. I've had some really nice shaves. Mainly with the Feather Artist Club, believe it or not. But even with the Carve, the Wolfman, I've had some really nice shaves. That's one of the best. That's an absolutely tremendous shave. Now, it is made by mass-produced means. This is all. I don't know how this head is made. I don't know whether it's solid brass, so it's a very heavy head, so I would imagine it's possibly brass, but most likely a heavy sort of zinc oxide or a Zamac or something that's quite heavy. The plating on the head, as I've explained in great detail, that plating on there, I know it's a bit messy now, it's immaculate. The whole head is just superb. Like, it looks like artisan quality. It's perfectly machined, or you know, if it was machined, it would be perfectly machined and polished to perfection. That is what that head is like. The handle is just shit. It's a real cheap, nasty looking handle, and it doesn't do justice to the head, and it doesn't, in all honesty, do justice to the Gillette brand name, given how big they are these days. But they have produced a razor in a nice box with some nice blades that shaves. Look, I've got to be honest with you, other than that one weeper there, that's an absolutely immaculate shave for me. I've got no weepers anywhere else. I don't think I've got any creepers. Feels great. I've got no burning. I've got no irritation of any sorts really. Against the, I mean, that's smooth. There's no hate. I mean, it's very good. I'm really surprised. I'm honestly very surprised. I put my hand on my heart here. What's left of it's all falling apart like the rest of my body, and say that gives as good a shave as the Carve, really. Well, you know, that's big words, but it does. It shaves very well. If I might even put that head on a better handle that I've got, a Carve handle, or maybe try the Wolfman handle or something like that, just to see if it makes a difference. Having a quality handle on there, something with a bit more heft to it, makes the head a little bit better, and see how it shaves then. But that, in all honesty with you, it's one of the best shaves I've had in a long time. It was fantastic. Really, I mean, even there, look, there's no I've got no real redness anywhere, and other than that weeper, down here there's like nothing. Just looks white. Can you see white? Fuck knows, loads fucked. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys to it. 30 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it. I hope you've learned a little bit more about this razor, because to be honest with you, I've watched a lot of reviews on it, I've watched a lot of people talk about it, I've seen a lot of people use it, and it's blown me away really. I'm really surprised by it. I think if you get your chance to get your hands on it, even if it's just for the head, it's worth 30-40 bucks just for that. You get the whole set, great, and by all accounts it's a fantastic razor as a first razor for anyone. It's very mild. It's probably sitting, if you gave aggression a rating out of 0 to 10, I would put that around about a 4. There's no real blade feel from it. With the Wizamate at least, the Wizamate was super smooth, just buttery smooth blades. Just worked beautifully. Stay safe, drive safe. Don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.